Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of our predictions. We're making our predictions for Money in the Bank. This is basically a massive collaboration with, of course, Off the Top Media and River City Radio. Of course, I guess, your host, for the evening of predictions. I was just kind of voted into this, but I am known as Cam G. There's a whole bunch of people in there. I'm going to just let them just introduce themselves. Take it away, anybody.
I am Senior Butt Sniffer.
Wow. Okay.
I am soon to be debut. Oh,
go ahead, Sean.
I am soon to be one half of the Bearded Alphas with the Bearded Bastard running through the six with our woes starting Wednesday because I'll be in Toronto with Shadow for Money in the Bank weekend, and we're gonna have tons of fucking fun.
I'm that guy Shadow.
Fucking fun, by the way.
Mike?
I'm Metal Mike, host of the Table Spot, host of River City Red Zone, co-host on The Boom, producer of all three shows.
I'm Sami. I am currently hoping to have a baby soon.
She's in labor, folks. That's commitment.
I'm Scals. I'm the host of NXT on Tap, which is actually supposed to be on in about an hour, but this is replacing it. So hope you all stay tuned.
I'm Will.
I'm Will.
What's up?
That's
All
it.
right.
I'm just Will.
You just will?
That was our
Will.
greatest intro ever, guys. I love it.
All right, so today we're going to be doing our Money in the Bank predictions. There are currently 5 matches on the card. We're going to go... We'll go across the top row, then the middle row, and then the bottom. And then we'll do the reverse, so this way it's not the same order every single time. Sean, I'm going to have you start with this first match.
Oh, okay.
Bron Breakker versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship.
I'm gonna take Bron Breakker. I'm sick of Sammy's title reign already.
Rude.
You can't say that where you're going, Sean. You know this, right?
Yeah, you gotta be more Canadian than that, man.
Oh, sorry. I'm sick of Sammy's title reign, eh?
Listen, if you mock Canadians while you're up here and you get beat up, I am not
God,
helping
please
you.
do it. Oh, you're going to the Quidditch capital of the world.
Listen,
Just
if he gets
get me
beat up here,
some
I will.
bits while you're up there, eh?
Hey, if he gets beat up, I'm just recording it and putting it on our channels.
Fuck you, Shorzy.
Fuck you, Shorzy.
Fuck your mom.
Mike?
I'm going with Sami Zayn. I don't think it's time for Bron Breakker to win a championship yet. This is a good opportunity for him, especially with what he's been doing on Raw as of late. He'll definitely get another opportunity somewhere down the road, but I don't think he's winning on Saturday.
I am going to go with Bron Breakker. It is time for him to have a championship on the main roster. He has been getting such a big push and bigger focus. It's his time. Shadow?
I'm going Breaker because I feel like Sammy's going to get slotted into the main event picture here. At least maybe not a run, but he's going to be interjected into that somehow. So I'm going Breaker. He's been showing dominance. If you make him lose, it just loses all momentum.
Cam?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bron Breakker as well. Like I said, the run he's on right now, just like what Shadow had said, you have him lose here, especially cleanly. It just kind of ruins the run that he's on right now.
Jax?
Oh, it's my turn. I'm going Bron Breakker just because he's from Georgia.
Okay.
There's no other fucking reason.
That's a solid reason, I guess.
It is a very good, solid reason.
Sami?
I'm going with Breaker also. I agree with Sean. Sami Zayn's title win has been very boring, and I'm just done with it.
Don't forget the baby needs a prediction too.
The baby's doing what I picked, Bron.
This is gonna suck. It's gonna piss Sammy off 2 times in a day.
I already know, so. Sean. Don't talk to me.
And Will?
Bron Breakker wins this belt because I have a hunch that Sami Zayn is going to be recruited back into the babyface side of the Bloodline Civil War.
Next little tidbit there. All right, Will, since you're going to be going, how about you pick the match?
What match?
Out of the 4 remaining matches, what match do you want to predict next?
Let's save the 2 Money in the Bank matches for the last 2. If there's 4 matches on the card, then let's go to the next not Money in the Bank ladder match.
All right, so we have.
I don't have the card in front of me. I apologize.
That's fine. We either have the 6-man tag or we have the World Heavyweight Championship.
Let's go world title.
Oh, fuck.
So we got Damian Priest versus Seth Freakin Rollins. Where with the stipulation in this one is if Damian Priest wins, Seth can no longer challenge for the belt as long as Priest is holding it. And if Seth wins, Damian Priest is out of the Judgment Day. Will, your prediction?
I think Seth picks the belt back up here, and Damian and the Judgment Day start their demise because I think Rhea will also be back by SummerSlam.
Sami?
Hello, Seth baby's gonna win. He needs his title back. Fuck Damian Priest. Priest.
Right.
Sorry, Joe just got here and he brought me my pregnancy pillow.
Hey, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Yeah!
What up, homie?
Joe.
All right, Jax,
Yeah, what's up?
it's your pick.
Oh, my pick. I'm gonna go Punishment Martinez.
AKA Damian Priest.
That's clever.
What is so funny to you, Cam?
You.
What? Yeah, because I called him by his name? Jesus.
Oh, man.
Google it if y'all don't know.
Yes, I'm
Fun
aware.
fact,
Jax.
I
I'm
met-
aware.
I met Punishment Martinez on his last day of Ring of Honor.
Jesus Christ.
Cam?
I'm gonna go with Damian to retain. This sounds stupid, but my whole idea with Seth losing, I think this starts a downward spiral for Seth. And then I think he kind of goes the same route as like a Drew McIntyre wanting to leave the company. I think he leaves Raw and then signs with SmackDown and then turns heel on SmackDown and goes after Cody's title. That's what I think. So I think that's the direction. I know they're probably not going to do that, but I would like them to do something like that to give Seth a new direction because he needs one. I think his babyface run is kind of used up. But yeah, I'm going with Damian to retain.
All right. Very well thought out there. Shadow?
Well, since this is going to be a hard-hitting match, I thought I'd put on my helmet. So my heart tells me Seth, but my brain tells me Priest is walking out the champ. But I haven't made that decision, so I'm going to go Seth just because I want to yell "Burn it down" really, really loudly in someone's ear. Sean.
Thank you, Allison.
Jesus
What's going on, Malik? How we doing? Al likes the way Cam is thinking in his theory there.
I appreciate that.
Welcome in. I got him. I am going to go with Damian Priest on this one. I don't think it's happening yet for the break up of the Judgment Day, but they already started planting the seeds, and this is definitely going to further that. By him keeping a belt, he's going to start thinking that he doesn't need them anymore, and it's going to push everybody away from each other.
Who gets the Xbox?
Finn Balor, because
Dominic.
that's who Liv is really with.
Okay, just making sure. I just don't want there to be arguments over it.
Lucky bastards.
Exactly. Mike?
Scowls, I'm with you. You said everything I was going to say. Is I think Damian Priest is going to walk out with the championship. The Judgment Day storyline without him, with what I think they want to do with it, wouldn't make sense without him there. So he retains and continues being champion.
And Sean.
Well, picking this before the men's Money in the Bank kind of fucked up my plans, but I'll tell the reason why during the Money in the Bank men's. But I'm thinking Damian Priest wins because Seth can't challenge as long as Priest is champion, right?
Correct.
Leading up to Gunther versus Priest at SummerSlam, and Gunther's taking that title, which allows Seth to challenge Gunther and have a summer fall program with Gunther.
Can I ask you a question? In all honesty,
You just asked a question.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very forward then. Fuck the finer things. Sean,
I love it.
SummerSlam is the second biggest show of the year, according to WWE themselves. Which do you think is going to put more asses in seats? Seth Rollins versus Gunther, or Punishment Martinez versus Gunther? Because this is what you have to think about, dude. Like,
Yes, but I'm just thinking that it's too early for Priest to just leave the Judgment Day with how hot Judgment Day is.
I mean, me personally, I'd rather see Punishment Martinez versus Gunther. Seth versus Gunther, that to me that looks almost just about as ridiculous as Gunther versus Sami.
But also,
Because I feel like Gunther's gonna beat Seth like a redheaded stepchild. Like
Really?
He's gonna beat the brakes off Seth. Yes.
Mike?
That's not entertaining to me. He's gonna beat the brakes off Seth.
that's the
We need
point
somebody
of a
that's
wrestling
going-
match, though.
We need somebody who's going to equal out the brutality of Gunther, and I think Damian is the guy.
Oh, Damian Priest is not the guy.
Yes.
So,
He's a big guy.
I kind of want to feed off what your question was. Is I'm picking Damian Priest for this match ultimately because if the men's Money in the Bank does not happen before this match, like I was going to predict a different way, but it all depends on how the placement goes with this event. So if they do men's Money in the Bank before this match, then my thought was Damian Priest ends up retaining, and then my thought was Drew McIntyre winning the Money in the Bank and then cashing in on Damian Priest. Because if Priest loses, he's out of the Judgment Day. That's to Seth. But if he wins the title back against Seth, but then loses to whoever cashes in Money in the Bank, then he's still in the Judgment Day. They can continue the Judgment Day storyline with Damian there. He wouldn't have the title. And would you rather see Seth and Gunther, or would you rather see Drew McIntyre and Gunther?
Neither, actually.
Drew McIntyre is going to be wrestling CM Punk at SummerSlam, and Drew McIntyre is going to be wrestling Gunther at Bash at Berlin.
So,
I mean,
So
I
that
have other
brings up the
thoughts- I have
point
other
with
thoughts
the-
for the men's Money in the Bank. I do, but I'll mention that then when we get there.
Malik in the chat said that he would rather see Punishment Martinez versus Walter than Tyler Black versus Walter.
I'm just picking on Mike, by the way.
I think Martinez is the better size matchup for Gunther.
That's what I'm saying.
I have no doubt that him and Seth will put on a phenomenal match just because how great both of them are workers. I just think that in order to get where we need to get to going forward, it's more sensible to be Priest versus Gunther.
Do we think Sami turned her mic off because she's having the baby?
Maybe.
I'm going with that.
Amen.
Debuting on Off the Top, the newborn.
Baby Randy.
Baby Randy.
Drew wins Money in the Bank, cashes in at SummerSlam. That's not a
I
bad
think we get a
call.
same night
Oh, we'll-
cash in the men's, but we'll talk about that. when we
We'll
get
talk
there.
about that later. Yeah, because I have a bunch to say about that.
I hope not. I will walk out. You better not. I do not want to see that. No, I'm okay.
All right. So Sean, 6-man tag match.
Well, here's another reason Sammy's pissed off at me. Because earlier on another show, I predicted that the Bloodline's going to win. They're going to have the Bloodline looking strong until Roman comes back. And especially with Jacob Fatu there, that motherfucker. I'm calling it now. I've said it on the podcast on Monday night. These two kind of, well, more Mike kind of got a little upset with me. I said that Jacob Fatu is already the best member of the Bloodline.
But okay, I'll wait till my turn.
And that's just me because I know Jacob. So
you're picking the Bloodline.
yeah, I'm picking the Bloodline.
Mike?
I can agree with what Sean said with the Bloodline winning this to keep them strong, because the past couple weeks on SmackDown, they have looked stronger before we got the introduction of Jacob. But as far as him being the best member and strongest member of the Bloodline, I said to him that he hasn't even been there. Mind you, not even the cup of coffee. The coffee's still brewing. He hasn't been there that long. So how is it that he is the best member of the Bloodline?
Remove the crowd.
But I'm
All
going
right.
Bloodline.
So since you're going to Bloodline, so since you ended your thing with the question, how is he the best member of the Bloodline?
Yeah.
Just look at his entrance. It was the most impactful entrance out of any of the members of the Bloodline.
Great entrance.
I can't wait to use that entrance in 2K25.
So that right there just gave him a one-up on everybody else. Solo's entrance was at that point, and they've demeaned it down by making him not come out the way that he was when he first was using that entrance. They changed it, and they took away his aura from him coming through the entranceway. 2, the way he's dominating already in the ring. Destroying everybody. He beat up Paul. He destroyed Paul Heyman. Literally. He looks like he is going to be the one that's in charge. He's the one that looks like he will be able to run roughshod on anybody. No one's going to be able to control him. And I think that's going to be a difference maker in the Bloodline. That being said, I agree with that they're winning this match.
I think what Scal's tried to say is that Jacob gave Paul the good huck two spit on that thing before he threw it.
Jesus Christ.
So
He had nothing to do with that.
We're all under
Leave
the
him out of
assumption-
this.
We're all under the assumption that even Jacob's even wrestling on the card right at this moment, because there hasn't actually been said who the 3 members are yet.
It just says any 3 members.
Right.
now.
What's good, Daddy Jess, over there on YouTube?
Now, we would assume that it should be Jacob, but there's also a lot of things that we have to figure out, or they have to figure out, I suppose. But I'm not going to get into that. I don't know. It's a tough one because, like, you don't want to kill the little momentum that the new Bloodline has at the moment. And I say little because they're not full on Roman level anywhere near that. But you don't want to squash, if it's Jacob, you don't want to squash him in his, not squash, but you don't want to kill that level of who he is already if he's in that match. But on the other side, you want Cody, Randy, and Kevin to lose. It's tough. If I have to pick, I'm gonna say that it's the good guys. It's KO, Randy, and Mr. Rhodes.
What if they lose though, and that's when Randy turns on Cody, the RKO? He's been looking.
It could be that. I'm not disagreeing.
Look, you say Randy's name, she appears.
Sorry, the nurse was here.
Niggas.
Shut up. It's over. Stop.
But I don't know, Sean. That's what I'm saying. It's one of those situations. I'm just excited to watch it live. I don't know.
Oh, me too.
Cam?
Wait,
Oh, sorry, Shadow. I thought you were done.
I was gonna say Huck 2 spit on Cam's head. What's up, Cam?
Okay. Anyways,
I should have not let you finish.
So
I mean, Sean's
I
gonna
do
let me
believe
finish.
I do believe it's going to be the Bloodline. And I do think we get one of the members to be Jacob Fatu. This being his first match. Obviously, I don't think they're going to have them lose. Shadow said it. You know, they're not going to kill that momentum that he has going in right now. So yeah, so I definitely think it's gonna be a Bloodline. I don't see them losing a single match until Roman gets back, because that's where the bread and butter is with this entire story, is with Roman coming back. And then, you know, of course, we get Jimmy, and then we pull Jay back into this as well. So yeah, so I don't think they're losing until Roman comes back. So I'm going with the Bloodline.
Jackson.
I think this is the weakest bloodline we've had.
No, I think that's
That's
McMahon.
a
bloodline.
shocking statement,
How's that shocking?
because it is.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Other than-
GOD.
Look at it. Look at the people
Okay,
they're bringing in.
Yeah, fuck. All right. If they can't win a fucking match, it don't mean a goddamn thing.
They haven't lost yet. What are you talking
They
about?
get their asses handed to them once a week.
But they haven't
Please
lost.
tell me when Roman Reigns was running that shit and the Usos were there, how many weeks were they getting their asses handed to them?
Never.
All right. How many times has the bloodline now, this 2-point lick my balls, getting their asses handed to them?
Good boy, lick my
Hashtag
balls.
eat my nuts.
That doesn't matter.
They're the weakest version
have
of
not-
the bloodline.
They haven't lost. Doesn't matter.
Tom has
Never
lost.
They haven't lost. They haven't lost when they're tagging. What are you talking about? Show me a
Tom
match.
has lost
Show me.
in the King of the Ring fucking
But that was
tournament.
the King of the
It
Ring.
doesn't
That was the
matter.
King of
It
the Ring.
doesn't matter. It's a
doesn't matter.
fucking loss.
It doesn't matter.
They're not strong. They're not even
That doesn't
fucking
matter.
blood.
They're strong when
doesn't
they're
matter.
a unit. They're strong when they're a unit.
When have they lost when they're all together?
Have they
That's
wrestled
the,
all
They have.
together?
that's the
They
thing.
have.
They cheat when
Have-
they're all together. Solo,
So did the OG bloodline. What are we talking
No.
about here? What are you talking about?
Solo's vulnerable.
The OG bloodline did too, all the time.
Roman was a strategy player.
Sammy's
Set
over there
back.
just cheating.
Let shit.
He did to win.
He set back.
I
Hold
would
on,
have some
listen.
midnight tea
Roman
sauce
set
too, okay?
back. Let Paul deal with that shit and blah blah blah. Trust me, what I'm going to describe, Will knows I know a lot about. Then you get you start bringing in these new guys, and you get this thing called a power vacuum.
You lost me.
And
I
a
don't know what you're talking
power vacuum is where you have multiple guys fighting for that fucking necklace or whatever the hell they're fighting for now.
Lay.
Lace flowers.
Just will know. Just drop it in the chat. You said it last night in Table Spot.
I know it might be a lay, but I thought a lay was a flowers. I just think this version of the bloodline has not been made to look anywhat powerful like they were with Roman running that shit.
So if they destroy Kevin, Randy, and Cody on Saturday, would you be
No.
open to changing your mind?
No.
Fair
about.
enough.
Then I think that's just I think that's a preference thing. Then
I still don't think they're as strong statistically. If we look at facts, they're nowhere near the potential that the bloodline.
I just gave
But-
you a fact. They haven't
Yeah.
lost.
Yeah,
how many
that's a
how many championships has this new bloodline held?
Shut up. Shut up.
Not a
Jack.
fucking one.
They're
brand
new. What are
Jack,
you
they've
talking
been
about?
together. They've been together less than 3 months.
What?
And
Roman
and
had
Never.
to be fair, Roman had the belt when they
Yes.
started. So
Roman
did the
showed up,
Usos.
took care of business, and walked the fuck out.
The difference
Solo's-
between the two.
Fucking
But
playing too much.
Here's the difference, and this is what I think you were alluding to before. Roman was strategic, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
He knew when to attack. He knew how to attack.
Yeah, he
He
knew
let-
when to move.
He let Paul Heyman take care of what he needed to take care of, but he also had control over the other guys in the group.
Yeah, I don't think Solo has
Without-
that control.
Without a wise man in this group right now, Solo is not going to be able to control the rest of them
No.
because he's not a strong enough character. And I think that's where you're saying they're weaker. Is the head
they're just-
person is not as strong as Roman
Yeah.
was. Now,
They're a stack of cards getting ready to fall.
that's where Jacob comes in because he could eventually be the one to overthrow Solo and take control of the bloodline. But I think they will bring in somebody as the wise man or their special counsel, whatever you want to call it.
I got my money on Teddy Long.
I think it's going to be Rikishi.
I think it's going to be Rikishi.
Do we see the debut of Hikuleo on Saturday too, or do we wait till SummerSlam?
SummerSlam, I think.
I
All
love
right, Sammy, your
Hikuleo,
thoughts.
but he's a SmackDown debut.
Sammy, what are
Sammy?
you thinking?
She is.
Sorry.
That baby's hungry, man. So
I only have until midnight to eat solid foods. I have to eat. I'm all on a liquid diet until baby comes. Thank you. What do I think?
Who do you got winning the 6-man tag?
Really?
No
really.
shit.
With Randy.
Really?
So, Jax, you didn't say who you're going to have winning.
I go Cody and Randy, and I think they have something up their sleeve. They'll have an equalizer of some sort for the fourth member.
Well,
I think the Bloodline wins here. I think the Bloodline takes it.
So before we get into the next match, if I cut off Will, I'm sorry, buddy. I think we see y'all are gonna call me stupid, and that's fine. I think Roman comes back this weekend. They've been
It's a
alluding
strong
to him way
possibility.
too much recently, and I think he's coming back this weekend. Whether it's Friday or Saturday, but one of these 2 days, I think that's my hot take for the weekend.
I honestly wouldn't disagree with that because it would be a good position for that to happen, especially with the outnumbering.
Or maybe we hear
I
Brock's
could-
music hit and Paul Heyman comes out with Brock. I don't know.
he's not. No, Brock's
Shadow,
not.
I can agree with you, but me personally, and this is just my personal opinion, I'm thinking more along the lines of SummerSlam because of the talks and rumors, whatever you want to call it, of the possibility of us getting Cody versus The Rock. That's where
We're not getting Cody versus The Rock. The Rock is going to wrestle one more match, and it's going to be Rock versus Roman. That's what they're building to in next year's WrestleMania. All these people that are speculating it's going to be Cody versus The Rock for the title next year, no. That's a waste of time.
I said if it happens.
Either way, I get to see The Rock again.
and Cody. That's when I think Roman would come back.
This is a good call out by AJ. I think this can actually happen if it's not Rikishi. Armando Estrada coming back as the manager / wise man of the group.
I just want to say, though, because you're an asshole for saying no Brock, Brock is only a 3-hour flight from Toronto.
It has nothing to do with that. He's still involved in that whole thing. He hasn't been cleared by the legal department to come back to wrestle or anything.
They mentioned him again, so
They mentioned Sasha Banks, and she works at another company. It's not the same as it used to be, where they won't mention people on screen.
listen.
If
I don't know what's
he
gonna happen.
comes back, I will gladly eat crow and say you were right, Shadow. I just don't think it's happened, and
Shadow, we gotta get
I
the
know
video.
the fact that it does make sense because Paul Heyman was just brutally attacked, but Paul Heyman also turned on him.
And I will chime in behind Scowls. Triple H is on record as saying that Brock Lesnar won't be back until he's cleared legally completely. Like, that's a do not pass go with TKO, Ari Emanuel, and Endeavor.
Do you know one thing that Paul Heyman guys hates bullies? I think
Al
this is
says
the
he has been
return.
cleared.
I think this is the time that we see a return of a Paul Heyman guy in Ryback.
Oh,
Oh
fuck off.
no!
God.
Fuck off!
If
Skip
Ryback
Sheffield in the house.
If Ryback comes out in Toronto, I'm throwing the biggest cup of whatever I have in my hand.
Me
and Sean's
too.
hand at him. Fuck that bald piece of shit.
Or we could get Curtis Axel. There you go.
Okay.
You
All
want to
right.
ride back that?
All right. Okay, that's enough, Sean.
Guy.
That's enough. That's enough. Good grief.
Or just for fun shits and giggles, maybe we'll get the original Paul Heyman guys and Stone Cold or Undertaker.
It's gonna be the Sandman.
We're gonna get Tommy Dreamer coming out.
Is Big Dick Dudley still alive? Like
No.
I could see a Big Dick Dudley return.
Willie Ray.
Big Dudley would be a good one. Deadly Alliance reunion. Stunning Steve and the Natural, Dustin Rhodes, and all of those guys getting back together. Mark Miro.
Hold on.
I don't know
Hold
what's
on.
happening.
You just brought up something interesting, and Dustin tweeted out recently as something big coming up.
That is true. He did mention. He said he
And I
can't
don't
wait
know
to
his
break the
contract
news.
status in AEW at the moment.
Scouts, you and I reported it was a while back, but didn't we say it was August or September when he would be available? Because it was later this summer, pushed out due to injury, right?
Maybe it's earlier.
We know he's a free agent at some point this year.
I guess we wait and see. He could be the numbers game equal.
No, he
As of June
could
2nd,
be.
he has not been cleared. Al circled back.
Thank you, Al.
That could very well be it. That would be awesome to see him come out and help his brother at
You're
Money in the
talking
Bank
about
if needed.
Dustin?
Yeah.
So I'm reading here as of March 23rd, his AEW contract expires in the fall.
Okay.
But Tony hasn't been against letting people go early either. I don't know. It's all speculation. It's all shits and giggles conversation anyway. So
I just wish he would fight harder for his talent.
I mean, he brought Britt Baker back.
Oh, fuck off.
DMD.
Hey,
Sorry, Sean. That was great.
Sean the doctor, we'll see you now.
Yeah, the doctor could see these nuts.
I bet you would enjoy that though.
Real quick
Hashtag
before I lose it, I just got the info from a really good insider that Bojangles might have the cups, but they're instructed to only release one every Sunday for the next 4 Sundays.
So the Bojangles by where I'm at, we have two. There's 2 available: the Brothers of Destruction and the Dudley Boys, and then the other 2 are coming out on Monday, and I can get as many as I want for $3.29.
I'll send you a PayPal, Mike, for the NWO one.
I'm going to the Bojangles down the road from my house tomorrow for lunch to see what they have. I'm not going to call any of you motherfuckers except for Bo and Scows because I don't like any of the rest of you. Wait. No, I like Cam and Mike and Sami. Okay.
Damn. Leave me okay.
So you're leaving the 2 that are going to be in Canada as of Thursday.
The 2 that have been
okay,
like, oh, I'm
Sean.
going to be there. I'm going to be there.
I don't know
I'm
what's
going to be
happening.
there.
That's okay. That's okay, Sean. We might just forget about the Stanley Cups at the Superstar. Will's fault.
It's not my cup.
It's not my cup.
I love Shadow. He knows I'm just talking shit.
All right.
Oh, damn.
So, Will, women's Money in the Bank.
I want to go. I'm going to give you 2 answers, one for my heart and one for my brain. All right. One for my heart, one for my brain, then one for Sean's PB. My brain says that it's probably going to be
Thank you, Kyle.
Chelsea Green, probably. Okay. My heart would want it to be somebody fresh and new, like Zoe Stark, maybe somebody like that. You know what I mean? Help elevate somebody fresh like it did with Io Sky. Sean's PP says that it's going to be Tiffy time.
Sammy?
I have to say, I think I'm gonna say it. I think it's Tiffy time.
I love you, Sammy.
You're agreeing with Sean's penis.
I am agreeing with his. Yes.
You
I
can say the
think
word
it is
penis.
time.
It's okay.
Malik is agreeing with
Most of us have one.
Drop those dicker stores in
I
the
have
chat.
one. Does that count now? And so it'll be out of me in a couple of days.
That's how you got in this situation, Sammy.
I know. God damn it.
Jack,
Take us first.
There's no mistakes, just happy little accidents.
Oh,
I love you,
finger
Tim.
now, Sean.
I
I had to say it one
on
time.
the women's ladder match.
yes.
I know Tiffy's in it because Sean's here. I know Chelsea's in it because Will just said it.
You got
I
Zoe
don't-
Stark, Io
Okay.
Sky,
Okay.
Naomi,
Uh-huh.
and Lyra Valkyria.
Uh-huh.
And then the two that you already mentioned.
I'm gonna go. Fuck it. I'm going Chelsea Green, baby.
Shadow? I'm sorry, Cam?
This is gonna pain me because I don't want to agree with Sean. I really don't. I really don't. But I feel like the way they've pushed her since being called up from the main roster or from NXT to the main roster, it's gonna be Tiffany Stratton. I mean, yeah, I could see what Scowls was saying about it being Chelsea Green and then her being a failed cash in as like a comedy way just because of her gimmick. Which I mean, I think that would be hilarious. But nah, I think it's gonna be Tiffany Stratton. They're setting her up to be the next big, blonde because they love their blondes in their women's division. So yeah, I think it's gonna be Tiffany Stratton.
All right, I got two answers. My head says Chelsea because Canada, but I know it's going to be Tippy Tam.
I think Tiffy's from there as well.
No,
She's
I don't
from
think Tiffy.
Minnesota.
So she's basically Canadian. Got it. I don't think we need Sean's answer because his background says it all. So, Mike, what do you think?
Come on.
Sean, go ahead.
I don't even need two answers. It's definitely Tiffy time. I'm going to wear my Tiffany Stratton shirt on Saturday, too. And once she wins,
of course,
y'all going to see the most obnoxious Tiffany Stratton fan out of me ever.
Mike, I retire. I'm resigning.
I just love how out of all the predictions, Sean was like, I picked this, and then we get to this one. He's like, yeah, I got Tiffany Stratton. Here we go.
It's Eddie Murphy moment.
That's the most he has to say about anything, too, Mike. Notice that. Anything else is just like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Tiffany gets brought up. Oh, man. You can't stop talking about it.
Over here.
I'm gonna have tissues on hand for Sean for that night because he's gonna cry. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
Oh, thank God you said that.
If Tiffany Stratton doesn't win, Shadow, I'm going to send you something. And if you get a photo from me, do not look at said photo. Just show it to Sean.
All right.
I mean, like everybody, like my head is saying Chelsea Green. For some reason, Chelsea Green is just right there. But I'm going with Io Sky for a second year in a row.
Oh, you think she's going to see him punk it?
Yeah, I think she wins it for a second year in a row. I do. So I'm going to go with Io Sky.
So since I got skipped over, because I was supposed to be after Shadow on this one.
Oh, my bad. I went the other way.
This right here is the key point that all of y'all are missing.
What?
They have focused so much on saying that the women's Money in the Bank has always been 100% success rate. Every single time they mention it, they say 100% success rate. We are going to get somebody that's going to fail this year.
Oh, they let Tiffany Stratton win that bitch.
No, they're not going to do that to Tiffany. They're going to do it to Chelsea Green.
I mean, if it's going to be a fail cash in, I change my vote.
It's going to be Chelsea Green winning, and she's going to be the first person to fail because it fits her character perfectly for that mental and amazing meltdown that's going to happen.
Where do they go after that, though? That's the question.
Yeah, Triple H he's about
Scout,
Where do they build, if anything, from that though?
Scout,
I'm not saying I hate it. Cool, great, whatever. But where do we go from there?
Scout,
Where do we go now? Well.
Yes, Mike.
I want to ask you this: if, let's say, EO wins, you wouldn't see her in any way, shape, or form failing at all if she were to win, especially with what's happening with damage control right now.
Yeah, but that's not going to be a fail. That's going to be someone causing her to fail. Chelsea is going to
fail.
But it would still be a fail.
But it's different. Chelsea's going to cash it in, thinking she's going to win and then fail. Because she's going to be overconfident like she always is. And it's keep building up her character. Io Sky is going to cash it in, and the person that's going to cause her to fail will be Dakota Kai. And that's where you're going to see the turn of Dakota and her going on her own.
And that's
because
exactly
she's getting fed. Yeah, but that I understand
that's where my mind was.
That makes sense. I get that makes sense. But to me, that's not so much of a failure of it, in a sense that the person who cashed it in failed. This would be the Baron Corbin moment when he failed because Cena caused him to fail.
You're talking
like
about
that's what that would be.
That's ultimately where you're going clean fail.
Right.
But would they really put it on someone with literally no storyline out of all the women that are in that match that have storylines?
No storyline. Chelsea Green has had a storyline with Bayley going back and forth with her and Piper Niven for months.
Not anymore, though. It's over. They haven't showcased Chelsea in weeks.
They just did last week.
It's not really a main focus, though.
If anything, I thought Blair would be in the match.
Right. I'm saying, like, I don't know. I thought they would have put Ilya in the men's.
My main is other than loving Tiffany. My main thing is why I picked Tiffany is they're doing this storyline with Nia Jax. Nia has a match with Bayley at SummerSlam. This is where the perfect time where Tiffany would cash in to screw over Nia Jax and their friendship.
Yeah,
well, I mean, Tiffany's turning on Nia after she wins Money in the Bank anyway. So
yeah,
that's what if they're gonna have the person cash in and be successful, Tiffany is 100% winning this ladder match. But if their plan is to have somebody fail, to me, it makes the most sense to put it on Chelsea Green.
Okay.
All right. Men's Money in the Bank. The final match on the card. Sean, you're up first.
All right. So the reasoning for why I said what I said in the Men's Money in the Bank, after the table spot, I got to thinking, and it's been mentioned on there, I see possibly the Wyatt Six taking out Chad Gable before the match, a la having Finn take his spot and ultimately grabbing that briefcase, hence leaning more towards the Judgment Day breakup. Because I see Drew in that match also, but getting screwed over by CM Punk again.
So, Mike, before you go, I'm just going to piggyback off of what Sean just said.
Go for it.
What if they did this, Sean? What if Gable does get taken out, but they only wrestle with 5 members of the match? And as Drew goes and climbs the ladder, CM Punk's music hits, and he comes out and costs Drew the match.
So then who would...
Obviously, it would be somebody different winning, but CM Punk would be the 6th entrant. He would cost Drew that match to continue building up their story. And then you have one of the other 4 members win
because
the briefcase.
So I'll choose 2. I'll choose Finn, and then I'm also going to say Drew would win. But like he said in his little promo that he's going to cash in that night, CM Punk's going to screw his cash in over. If it is Drew.
It also depends on when that match is on the card. All right, Mike.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that can happen in this match. because of what's going on. Drew McIntyre with CM Punk, LA Knight with Logan Paul, Chad Gable possibly Wyatt 6. All that stuff can happen. I know the favorite one in this is Jey Uso, but I think Carmelo Hayes ultimately walks out. I think we get a huge surprise and we get him winning the briefcase. So I'm going Carmelo Hayes.
This can go one of two ways. If the Wyatt 6 interferes and cost Gable the match in the match itself, you're not going to get CM Punk coming out to cost Drew the match because they're not going to do that twice in the same match. I would love for Melo to win this. I just think they're going to use this to further the story with Drew McIntyre. And I think it's the wrong move.
I think this is going to be. I think this men's Money in the Bank match is going to be like the Mania main event. It's going to be extremely overbooked, which is fine. But I have LA Knight winning. I've said it for months, and I'm going to keep to it. It's LA Knight.
Cam?
Well, I've got technically two answers. One of them is one that has already been said. It's not one that I really feel is going to happen, but it to me he's my wild card in this, and he's one that I would like to see win it. And that's Carmelo Hayes. Right now, they've booked him very well. I mean, he pinned Randy Orton. That's nothing to sneeze at.
Fuck you,
For
Cam.
somebody.
Okay, he got lucky.
He pinned Randy Orton. I don't care.
Lucky.
He pinned Randy Orton.
He got lucky.
That's great for Carmelo Hayes because obviously he is a rookie. He just came into the main roster in NXT. So right now he's looking like $1 million, right? And I think he would definitely benefit from it. It would throw a lot of people off because a lot of people, again, as you said, Scals, like your feeling is Drew McIntyre, just to further the story with CM Punk. So that's who I would like to win it. I just don't see him winning it. He's my wild card. I think honestly, I see winning this. Oh man, I really don't know. I'm gonna say Drew McIntyre. Unfortunately, yeah, I'm gonna say Drew McIntyre. I really hope not. I mean, there's a couple of different ways that may not happen. One of those was already kind of talked about, like CM Punk's music hits, and like they could do like CM Punk's music hits. He never comes out, but Drew just gets distracted by that, and then takes his eye off the ball, and he just gets like knocked off the ladder or something of that nature. I would prefer CM Punk come out because after he just got like, dumped out in the on the stage in Chicago in his hometown by Drew McIntyre, he comes out and not just screws Drew McIntyre out of the briefcase, but he comes out and the two of them are just fighting. So he takes Drew McIntyre pretty much out of the equation entirely because the two of them just go off camera and they're just fighting in the backstage area or whatever. But yeah, I think it's gonna be Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre's gonna try to cash in, and then CM Punk probably screws him over yet again. So yeah, but I'm gonna go with the. Actually, no. You know what? I take that back. I think it's gonna be Jey Uso. I think it's gonna be Jey Uso. You know why? Because they've been put, and I tell you why. Because they've been pushing Jey Uso so much, and right now I feel like they have because I forgot he was even in the match. To be quite honest with you, but they've been pushing Jey Uso so much, and they've been pushing this like what I would like to consider this Jey Uso agenda right now. Like they're heavily pushing Jey Uso. So to me, I think it's gonna be Jey Uso. And I think that they find some strange way to get the briefcase off of him because I don't see him being world champion. So I'm gonna go with Jey Uso, honestly. Drew, I think, is gonna come close, but I think ultimately CM Punk's gonna get involved. Shadow said LA Knight. I think Logan Paul comes out, screws LA Knight. So it's gonna be heavily overbooked, as Shadow said as well. So yeah.
Jax?
That's it?
Sammy?
I'm so sorry. I didn't even see his mouth move. I realized it wasn't really him.
It was, you really thought that was him?
For a minute, yes. I was
Listen up,
looking
ass
down
face.
when I first. I'm going with Shadow. I think it's LA Knight's time. I don't see anyone else winning. Fuck Carmelo Hayes. But yeah, LA Knight.
Yeah! Yeah!
And Will.
I'm probably gonna have to go with Jey Uso.
Didn't you say there was stuff earlier that you were going to talk about with the main event? When we talk about the Priest versus Rollins match?
Oh, I was under the same impression I think as Shadow initially, that if this is the first match on the card, then I think that will influence the world title match, which I would assume would be the main event if this match wasn't the main event. Does that make sense? Whichever comes first. If this match comes before the world title, I think we'll see a same night cash in. If the men's Money in the Bank is the main event, then we'll see some shenanigans with it. Whichever Money in the Bank match comes first, we'll see the same night cash in. I think something close to that.
So you think we potentially could see a women's cash in, even though there's no women's match on the card?
No, I guess that wouldn't make sense. So I guess it would have to be, if the men's Money in the Bank match happens first, there will be a men's cash in that night. That's my prediction for it. If the World Heavyweight title main events the pay-per-view, then there will be a men's Money in the Bank cash in during that match.
Can I say something random?
Yeah.
Well, did you lose weight?
Have I lost weight?
Yeah, you look. Your
Yes.
face looks slimmer. Look, you look good. I had to go like this and look really fast. Sorry, but it looks good. It looks good. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Thank
Sorry.
you.
Is there anything else anybody has to add about Money in the Bank?
It doesn't need to be its own pay-per-view anymore.
Yeah, anyone should beat Carmelo Hayes.
Okay.
I mean, I talked about it last night, and I'm sure we've all seen the videos with the Drew and CM Punk storyline and the comparison to a famous storyline that happened back in the 90s. And I mean, I know at the top of the show when we talked about the world title, I mentioned about, I mean, I ultimately picked Carmelo Hayes to win Money in the Bank. But I also said that, yeah, Drew McIntyre could win. He could end up cashing in, winning the world title. If they were ultimately picking from that same storyline, then Drew would end up getting screwed by CM Punk. Because it would be almost a mirror image of it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because if you look at how this went, you know, CM Punk went into, you know, Drew's backyard, then Drew came into CM Punk's backyard, and now this event is in Canada. Ultimately, where that storyline came to a head. Now, this storyline won't come to a head, but that's why the back of my mind, for some reason, that's running through my mind right now with this.
Is it running through the 6th, though?
Is it running through what?
The 6th. Never mind.
Yeah,
Mike does not understand that reference.
The Wyatt Six.
No, it has nothing to do with. Never mind.
Oh, the Six. Toronto. That's what Toronto's called.
Jesus.
I'm for that. Well, I mean, that's what I mean.
It took me a minute to think about it too because I thought you were referencing the wide six.
That's what I mean. Is if it is a mirror image, then I mean, the storyline wouldn't ultimately come to a head there because we got to see Drew and Punk at some point in the ring. But
thank you to whoever gifted AJ a sub.
If they're mirror imaging that storyline, then something's bound to happen on Saturday between Punk and Drew McIntyre.
Fair.
Anybody else with any comments? Was that what?
I just burped. I thought I was muted. I apologize. That was rude.
Anybody else have any other comments?
No, sir.
I do.
All right, Jax.
The nut.
I'm done. I'm done. I promise. I'm done.
Got him.
I'm done. I'm corrupting Sammy's baby before.
All right. Do we think that this PLE is going to be a good overall show?
Yeah,
Like,
it should be.
Yeah.
I'll let you know around 10:30 Saturday.
What are you guys getting into tonight?
Like, do we think Sean's going to walk out the arena disappointed?
Yes.
Or will he be happy?
Disappointed.
No, happy. And y'all going to see the most obnoxious side of me ever.
We already see that, Sean.
I think we're gonna get a better event than we're expecting.
I think we're going to get 2 badass ladder matches, if anything.
Yeah.
That's facts.
I could agree with that one.
I think it's just going to be great because it's Toronto and we're always hyped there.
I better see a swanton off a 25-foot ladder.
Because this is AEW just had a ladder match here. Hold my beer.
Okay, I don't know about all that. I don't know if they're going that far.
Just
I'm
wait.
not-
I don't know if they're going that far, though, buddy.
I'm going to be good. I'm being good.
Hold my
Are you
beer.
talking? Do you mean the Elite versus AEW? Sorry. I mean the Bloodline versus Team WWE. You see what I did there?
I see what you did there.
Let me grasp for those straws over there. Let me reach for that log. I can flip on a coin. Who do you want me to dog tonight? I could trash anybody in the wrestling.
This is awesome.
All right.
Hey, real quick, time out. Are we technically? Yeah, we're technically still talking NXT. Homeboy's wearing a Death Row fucking throwback.
Oh, Javon Evans?
Will, you see this jacket?
Yeah, I'm looking at him.
Dude, that's hard. Sorry.
We're going to get over this heat wave here soon and cool down a little bit.
I see what you did there.
Good pun there, Shadow. All right. With that being said, let's head on out. Sean, where can we find you?
You can find me in Canada with the bearded bastard Shadow, Money in the Bank weekend, and like I said on the table
The
spot,
17th millionth time. Jesus Christ, we know. Shadow.
Leave him alone, motherfucker. You guys get WrestleMania and all that. Shut up.
We know.
Anyway,
Yeah, but you don't see me going, hey, we're getting Mania every 15 seconds.
You will be when it gets there.
Anyways,
I haven't even mentioned SummerSlam. Hardly.
no Rebellion Wrestling this weekend on my personal page because, again, I will be in Toronto with Shadow. So we'll be back next week. You can find me on Instagram, the Alpha Wolf Sean B 2.0, and on TikTok, doing TikTok lives with Shadow on the Alpha Wolf Sean B TikTok. So look out for that.
Phil?
Well,
For those of you all that had stuck around to the end and still love seeing this beautiful face gracing your screens, you can find me out on my socials: Twitter, IG, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, all them good things right under the name you see here. Phil the Future here every Tuesday night to do NXT on tap with my boys Scals and the Ginger Ninja Jackbo himself. Also, sporadically on Boss Bitch Trivia Hour with Rivet City Radio. Waiting for my next title defense. I am waiting for so long. I feel like Roman Reigns with this whole title reign. It's getting annoying. Yeah. Any opponents are welcome, and I'm here.
Cam,
Come back to me. You always throw me off when I don't go last.
I'll go.
Sean, Shadow. He's muted. All right, 1 minute. Jax.
You can find me on everywhere, fucking everywhere. Follow me on Twitter, Jaxvo2020. Yeah. There.
Mike.
Metal Mike 714 all across the socials, X, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. Table spot every Monday night with Cam and Sean right after Monday Night Raw at 11:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday night on the Boom with Cam and Phil right after AEW at 10:15 p.m. And then on Rivet City Red Zone every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with the Candyman himself, Johnny H.
Shadow, you ready?
Yeah. You can catch me over the course of this summer doing Spotlight with Shadow. I have amazing guests coming up. The Double D's of Northland Wrestling. Stephanie Ferrer, a model, writer, actress based out of Toronto, Ontario. There's a few more interviews that I got coming up as well. You can also catch me with Ringside Chatter starting back up in mid-August. Following that will be the reintroduction to Sorry for the Interruption come September with the Jaxpo. And as Sean already said, you can catch me running through the 6th this weekend with the Alpha Wolf Sean B as we head the SmackDown, Money in the Bank, and Heat Wave live and taking it in and causing ruckuses and maybe riots. With that being said, I'm That Guy Shadow. You can also find me on Twitter at That Guy Shadow 91.
Will.
I am the Will Graham, the host and lead writer of Botch Bots and Chair Shots. You can find us on Rivet City Radio every Sunday at 7 p.m. If you check my link tree at the Will Graham, you'll find everything I do for Botch Bots and Chair Shots, Rivet City Radio, Off the Top Media, and my writing profile where I cover the NWA and independent wrestling for Last Word on Sports.
Cam, are you ready now?
I am ready now. You can find me right here on the network every single Friday night with Friday Night Review with Scals and whoever we decide to have as third, fourth, fifth, whatever. And then on our sister page and on Rivet City Radio, on Monday nights on the Table Spot with, of course, Metalcore Mike and, of course, the Alpha Wolf Sean. And then right there on Rivet City Radio again on Wednesday nights after AEW Dynamite with The Boom, hosted by yours truly with Phil Khan and, of course, Metalcore Mike again. And then on TikTok, you can find me at Cam Square Circle Mania. Call me Cam G. And, of course, Cam's Wrestling Corner. On Twitter, you can find me there at Cam and Cheese 317. If all of that does not sizzle your bacon, you can find me on Instagram at 317 Bacon, Eggs, and Cam.
I am Scals. You can find me here on Off the Top on both Tuesday nights and Friday nights. Tuesday night with NXT on Tap and Friday night with Friday Night Review. We also are going to be bringing back, like Shadow had said, Ringside Chatter starting in August. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, do all that fun stuff. We're on our way trying to get to 3,000 watch hours on YouTube. So if you have any time, we would appreciate if you went over there and checked out some of our content there. I just want to bring up something that Shadow had done this past week. So if you see him anywhere, make sure you congratulate him on his new tattoo that he got.
And take a picture with it.
Yeah. Anybody that sees me and Sean this weekend, don't be shy. Come up and give Sean a big old kiss.
No, don't do that. No. We can take pictures. You ain't kissing nothing. No.
Well,
Sean's saving all his kisses for Shadow.
All right, guys. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Like I said, make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and we'll catch y'all soon. Have a great evening.
Down to the bottom again.